All right, y'all, let's get into some human body basics and tie in why it says, woe to those people who wake in the morning and follow it with strong drink into the night. Okay, this is talking about your coffee and your juice and your Red Bulls, your Gatorades, your sodas, your alcohols, your bottled and canned drinks, your sugar waters, all those things, okay? So let's break this down in a couple different points, all right? Our bodies are organic electrical machines. With electricity, our bodies conduct that electricity with water and fats, all right? Now, our bodies are 70% water without drinking water. And our nervous system is basically little electrical wires going all through every single part of our body, all right? So you can think of the water as the wire in a matter of speaking. And the fat that we eat seals in those wires, okay? Because your nervous system, your brain, those types of things, those rebuild themselves with fat and cholesterols and such. So you basically have all these little wires going throughout your body, and you have a sheath of fat around them. So when you don't eat enough fat or you don't eat enough cholesterol, there's going to cause an imbalance in your electrical wiring, all right? So what's going on today is everybody's drinking half their body weight or more of liquid, and they are eating very little fats. Okay, so there's an imbalance in that system. So if you have an electrical wire and it doesn't have proper sheathing on it, or it touches the water or whatever else, you're going to get a blowout. You're going to get a short fuse, a blown breaker, going to burn up your appliance or whatever. Okay. So when your electricity hits that water, there's usually a blowout. All right. And that's why you get Americans and whatever else getting a shorter circuit as they go into this age of deception. However, since the age of deception is going to be coming to an end soon, and then all that's going to be exposed to break down the temple and all those, and the temples will be rebuilt and whatever else. All right. So, the wiring is all messed up in the body, basically because there's not enough fat and cholesterols in the body, and our cholesterol levels raise as we get older, typically because we live in a environment of frequencies, and these frequencies are not free on the body. They charge tolls, and as these frequencies build on our body, they are toxins. So as our bodies become more toxic and less conductive, we need to store up more cholesterol and such, so the conductivity in our bodies can work properly, okay? So this is where you see, like in Japan, their older generation and such, they have 600, 700 cholesterol points or whatever. That's because, and they also have less dementia, less Alzheimer's. Their 80-year-olds are moving around a lot better and all these things. So the proof is in the pudding. Either way, so there's an electrical imbalance with the wirings all exposed and touching each other and causing shorts or whatever. It's causing the people to operate from a lower chakra system, all right? We need to operate from a higher chakra system. And also notice that electricity also needs to be grounded, or you get a blowout as well. And man wearing shoes, the typical shoes, they keep you from being grounded on the earth. And when you walk barefoot or lay on the ground or whatever, right where your body's touching the earth, then you are grounding yourself. Okay, so right now the people aren't grounded. They go and sit on a non-grounded couch and all these things, and the TV and the house and stuff is grounded. So this is where they're getting their grounded foundation. They're getting their grounding from the TV and the media and all this stuff, rather than getting the grounding from nature and earth and the the invisible God. There's the invisible God of nature, and there's the visible God of man and such. So the balance is off with the conduit and the sheathing and stuff in one sense. And then as man, we are all fragments of God and fragments of the earth, and we are all basically individual walking, talking earth ecosystems, okay? And when you look at man under certain type of optics, we look like things of the forest. We look like roots and trees and flowers and such, all right? And rocks and whatever. So, with that, our guts is basically the living soil system, all right? Now the forest, the rainforest, the pine forest, the woods around you and all that, they don't need to be watered. They are a living soil system, all right? I've worked with living soil. I've worked with Jadam, and you learn about microorganisms and the exudates and stuff. It's the microorganisms that are feeding on the dead material in the woods, and they feed off and give off exudates. Their pee and poop is what the trees and roots and stuff absorb to get their vitamins and nutrients and stuff, and it's a balanced system that creates life upon life upon life, all right? And that's how our bodies are meant to be. We are meant to be pushed out through the vagina and gather microorganisms that way, and we are meant to breastfeed and get colostrum and breast milk for 2 years or longer, and you get it that way through the mother's milk. You get it from eating dirt. You get it from eating honey. They don't want the kids under 2 years old to eat honey because it's so-called a raw product and it has raw microorganisms in there that will help them build up a gut of health and immunity for later on. So the gut, you are as a living soil system, as a gardener, as a farmer, you don't want to water your garden every day. If you do water it every day, you want to give it a very little amount of water, okay? Because what happens is when you give too much water, you can start creating an imbalance in the soil system. And this is where you get your vitamin deficiencies and your mineral deficiencies. You get your chlorosis on the leaves and those types of things, okay? So with the too much water in your soil system, then you are basically creating an anaerobic environment, and an anaerobic environment needs it doesn't need oxygen to live, all right? And the face of ox is one of the faces of the cherubs, all right? And the oxygen is what when you drink carbonated drinks and these bubbly drinks and stuff, you never would put carbonation into your roots or turn off your oxygen to your hydroponic system or whatever else, right? Your plants would die immediately. So it's amazing actually what the human body can eat and drink and live on, or so-called live on. But when you are drinking these carbonated drinks, you are filling your soil system up with carbonation instead of oxygen, okay? And carbonation is the dioxide. So you're killing the ox. The anaerobic conditions are created also from eating too much sugar. When you eat too much sugar, or you eat these or drink these drinks that have the sugar, you're basically just overfeeding your microorganisms, the ones that you have, and they are creating a imbalance in there. And the anaerobic ones breed a lot faster than the aerobic ones. So the aerobic ones need the oxygen, the anaerobic don't. So like diabetics, they more than likely have a overstimulation of anaerobic microorganisms. That's why they crave water. Those microorganisms need water, and they need an anaerobic condition to stay alive. So therefore they're going to make the body crave water, okay? And a lot of your cravings that you get, like your stomach pains or whatever when you're getting hungry, that's your microorganisms. The ones that are off balance, that like an anaerobic condition, they are getting killed off and stuff, all right? This is why it's very important to fast, to do dry fast, and to do food fasts and detox and those types of things, because you're resetting and rebalancing the microorganisms in your body, okay? And also when you take the antibiotics, it kills all your microorganisms that you developed as a child or got as a child or whatever, right? And it takes around, they say, around 5 years to develop all those microorganisms that you killed off. So that is causing an imbalance, and most people take those antibiotics to where they never get a proper biodome back, okay? And they're also not eating the foods to get the biodome. They're not eating the fermented foods or the raw foods and the unwashed veggies and whatever else, okay? They're also not gardening their own local fruits or veggies in their garden and not getting the local organisms that way, or going to forage for wild mushrooms and getting wild fungals that way and whatever else, okay? The eating local, that is really great for health, because you're getting all your local microorganisms around your area and you're putting them inside your body so you know how to cope around in that area, okay? So when you drink too much water, you're just basically flooding out your soil, and you're robbing your body of nutrients and minerals, and you're causing inflammation. And water is the source of inflammation. So if you have pains or whatever, you're probably too liquefied a lot of times. When I stopped drinking as much water and I got off coffee and all these things, my pain in my foot that has the metal in it, it's virtually almost gone. Like, it very rarely gives me any more problems. But as well, I also was a vegan for 8 years when I got off the dark lifestyle, and I was doing a detox or whatever. But that's when I didn't eat enough fats and my body became imbalanced. And like as an example, when I get out of the showers, if I didn't have my robe right there, I'd like shiver like I was going into seizures. Like, it was just ridiculous. But I eventually fixed that by putting butter into my coffee, right? That was when I still drink coffee. I gave up coffee, and I'm so glad I did. I didn't even know I was having problems per se in the body until I got off the coffee, and it actually took my body around 2 months for my body to balance out and get the stools back to normal, right? But y'all don't even know what y'all are doing to yourselves with this stuff y'all are doing, okay? That's why it says woe to y'all who are doing these things, because you are literally drinking and saturating your earth system. It's basically like if you just go and rain, if the earth just rains nonstop, shit's just gonna die up and drown and stuff. So you just can't constantly put water or sugar or whatever into your body, okay? So when you eat food, okay, that's like you throwing compost onto the compost pile. You put it into your compost pile, it breaks it down, and then it takes the compost and puts it into the living soil system. Your microorganisms in your body, they eat that stuff. They put off exudates. Those exudates are what your body absorbs and gives you your energy, your mind, your health, your illness, whatever, okay? So with that, if you have an imbalance or the anaerobic ones, you're going to have more inflammation in the body. You're going to have more pains, more illness, or whatever else. Your body's operating on a non-oxygenic level, okay? You need oxygen to thrive. So your body's operating on a carbon dioxide level. And that's why you are deteriorating. So these microorganisms, they're feeding your body, okay? And they are being attacked nonstop with your foods and plastics, your foods and all these artificial flavorings and whatever else, because a lot of these things they don't know what to do with. So when they eat them or whatever, they put off this weird imbalance in the body, and your body don't know what to do with it, and just lo and behold. And we got to stop this video because of time.